What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is February the 20th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is focusing on today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So today was one of the big days this week for data points. So we just got GDP and PCE. GDP did come in a little bit better. So 3.7 versus 3.6. Growth was rather on the low end, but PCE, it did come in a little bit hotter. So market was kind of minding its own business, relatively flat, but because of PCE, we are going to be kind of consolidating from what it looks like. So Dow is down 0.2, S&P down 0.24, NASDAQ down 0.54. So unfortunately, PCE is going to be kind of the kryptonite in the market for at least today. Fear and greed index is under the fear category, meaning people's appetite for risk isn't on the table. SOFI is down, just piggybacking off the broader market. No news, no SEC filings or anything from them. Shorts, on the other hand, are returning about 125,000 shares. 8.9% of the free float is being shorted. So it's been very interesting, and I feel like shorts are just all over the place. So I'd like to say that there's some rhyme or reason to what they do, but I think in reality, it does really signal that they don't know anything more than you or I. They are just trying to speculate on kind of what is happening. So leading into GDP and PCE, they were returning about 125,000 shares. Once the market does open, I would assume that they are going to increase and really try to push SOFI down. Right now with it at 1909, it is exactly on this S1. So that is going to be a key point that ideally SOFI does close above today. If not, we could be seeing that 1839 and possibly 1726 as support levels. So let me know your general thoughts on that. NIO is down not too much. It's actually doing a little bit better, but today I was anticipating for NIO to put out the date of their earnings, and unfortunately they didn't put out any news. So still kind of radio silence from them. Shorts are returning 1,000 shares, so they're not doing too much today. 7.14% of the free floats being shorted, works out to 145 million shares overall being shorted. What NIO shorts like to do is they like to double down at strategic points to break it below these levels. So for today, and no different than pretty much the last several trading days, just watch for 485. Yesterday it kind of did bounce off of that general range, so just watch for 485. Interestingly enough though, shorts did return about 1.3 million shares in power hour yesterday, so that kind of leads me to believe that there might be something coming as far as maybe milestones. I quickly checked, I didn't really see anything on social media, so maybe it's still coming possibly, but shorts kind of returned in a panic state yesterday. But moving on, Open Door, they are up 18.6%. So they did essentially have a triple beat on earnings per share, revenue, and gave very good future guidance. If you want to see my dedicated Open Door video, pop over to my other YouTube channel, Behind the Talk. I go over Open Door and a couple other stocks. I have roughly around 5 different YouTube channels on a side note. And I've been asked why I have that. It's just so the algorithm, like I don't put out numerous videos on one channel and screw up the algorithm. Try to kind of keep them somewhat separate for the most part. But shorts in there kind of mind, they are increasing about 34,000 shares. 14.8% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 121 million shares overall being shorted. Right now with that 538, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 495, 606 is going to be the next strong kind of support and target points. Quickly going over here, you can kind of see the high. Looks like it was sitting in roughly around 555, low end of 524. So that's most likely, at least initially, going to be the spectrum that it kind of trades at. In my opinion, I do believe FOMO is going to kick in and really push Open Door higher, but anything is of course possible. Ticker NAMM, they are up 11.6% because of this. So after hours yesterday, they put out news saying that they are now compliant with the NASDAQ. I have always leaned towards that this isn't a crazy catalyst. This is just generally expected. If a stock maybe does it naturally without a reverse stock split, then maybe it's kind of worth like a round of applause, but that's pretty much it. I don't know if this company did a reverse stock split. So actually, to be fully honest, yeah, they didn't do any reverse stock splits, so they did get back naturally. So maybe that again is something to kind of keep in mind, but nonetheless, I still don't really see this being a crazy catalyst. Shorts are returning 3,000 shares, 18.28% of the free float's being shorted, works to be 1.24 million shares overall being shorted. And actually, now that I kind of say that out loud though, the reason why they probably didn't do a reverse stock split is it probably wasn't the $1 bid price rule. Looks like minimum value of publicly held shares. So that was kind of the issue at hand. So I don't know what they did to kind of rectify that, but so my apologies, it wasn't the $1 bid price rule. Right now with that 401, it is right above this pivot point. So today just watch for that $4 range. If it's able to close above it, then 649 is going to be the next round target. So that would be pretty epic if you think about it. Moving on, CDIO. So I've brought up in the past, every time you start to see a stock kind of flatline, you start to get it like abnormal volume, it's free to have. Just pop over to the dilutiontracker.com and you can kind of just look at how many convertible products that they have, whether that be preferred stock or notes or some other kind of hybrid type of thing. So they only have one right here, and yeah, it's not fully completed, so that could attribute it to like some level of dilution, but all these warrants on the side note, that wouldn't have done it either. So big money, for whatever reason, is buying. There hasn't been any news, no SEC filing submitted for this, so it's getting some very abnormal volume, but most likely it's not dilution. Shorts are increasing 8,000 shares, 36.9% of the free float's being shorted. Works to be 627,000 shares. So that's exactly what the market generally likes to squeeze. Heavily shorted, low float, cost to borrow average 373%. That is an annual rate, not a daily rate, but still something to keep in mind. Right now with that 292, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So 275, just watch for that to hold. If not, then yeah, you're pretty much back to where you were ultimately. So 275, just watch for that to hold. 316 and 384 is going to be the next round target / resistance. So kind of tread cautiously with this one. Let me know your thoughts on kind of what you're buying today. Are you just kind of sitting back? What's your general thoughts? So yeah, hopefully everyone has a good weekend. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.